Today's idea, we wanted to follow a violinist and see what her process was like as she created a song for a symphony. Chloe, who was our professional violinist who actually plays for a symphony, her process is something that we really wanted to capture and just kind of tell a visual poem through lighting and through the shots that we try to achieve. Because we needed a creative space, we thought an industrial warehouse would be a really good look. So we used Godox lights to transform the industrial location, and this gave us 3 different scenes for 3 different looks. It actually helped us kind of change the mood for each different scenario to kind of show the struggle and also the glory behind her process as a musician.
Once you find a super interesting location, it's really fun to complement it with your set dressing. We want to create a world that she can just walk into and be a part of.
So we had 2 different movement styles in this as far as camera movement. We had a handheld look and then we had a stabilized look. The handheld look gives it a little more of an organic, real documentary sort of quality, and then the stabilizer look allows it to be very smooth and fluid, and so when she's dancing around and spinning around, I can be right there with her.
All right, and 3, 2, 1, action, and lift up the violin.
The challenge was to work in multiple looks alongside the sunlight, either using the sunlight and then working with it to complement or augment that, and or to, in some scenarios, try to create our own sun source.
We used the Godox M600D in all of the scenes to create a sunlight effect outside of the windows.
So we had 3 no-LED M600Ds, and we also had a couple Fresnel attachments for 2 of them. Those lights are powerful. They're out of the Godox light family, they're the ones that can most emulate daylight because they're strong and powerful just like the sun.
The Godox lights were pretty easy to use. They were turnkey. As soon as we turned them on, they were easy to access. The menus were quite easy and intuitive. And the app, I downloaded the app real fast, and they quickly paired even, without even having to go and hit each light and say pair, pair, pair. They were available to find via the app, and right away I was able to control them.
For the first scene, we wanted to use a lot of color contrast just to give us a really unique look within the space. And we thought that using vibrant colors would really help her creative mind come to life. And that's kind of the way that we wanted to show it visually.
So we put blue gel on the windows, kind of a steel blue. And then we also had like a really color contrasted backlight, which is way orange. So you have this nice like blue and orange.
Some of these lights is the first time I've seen these Godox lights. The LD150R was actually pretty fun right out of the box. Again, great menus, easy to understand. And we were able to match lights that we gelled up and windows that we gelled up quite easily, and able to just dial it right in, adding the plus and minus green if needed. It was really fun and intuitive.
So the TL120 tube lights we used a lot. We threw them on the ground, changed them to different colors to have little uplights on the walls. A lot of times we had our gaffer, Richard, literally holding them when I'm in a close-up shot of the girl or something. He's right there behind camera or next to camera with one of those. It's a very quick way to bring in some soft fill light. And those are also RGB, so you can match any color really quickly.
And so for the second setup, we wanted something that was more of a natural approach. We wanted that natural light kicking in through the windows. So we used the M600Ds, we placed those outside, and that gave us the natural sunlit look.
We didn't use any gels. We used all the Godox lights in sort of daylight mode, and we used some ambient daylight that was coming in as well. So everything was sort of in the same color tone lighting-wise. You didn't have a bunch of different color contrasts, different color lights. Very different than the first scene. So it's a good contrast.
So we were trying to shoot a passage of time shot of the light time-lapsing across the table with the sunlight moving in.
What we ended up doing is taking the M600D and physically sliding it across the floor.
They were light enough, and the floor was smooth enough, we were able to just slide the stands across the floor. A couple instances we even just popped it off and handheld it and just moved it across the table so that the light would travel in a seemingly natural way, actually.
And when you were looking down on the table, it looks like a little time lapse, like the sun is just sort of moving around the room. And the big Fresnel lens on the end of the 600 helps sell that sunlight look.
For the third look, that was our big finale look. So that's when the song really picks up, and that was when we wanted her to be in her full gown, and we really wanted that golden hour light. But the problem was it was a cloudy day. So we had to improvise, and we problem solved and came up with a really good solution.
The sunset went behind the clouds, So instead of getting to match the sunlight and work with it, we had to actually recreate it completely with the M600Ds.
Sunset time came, the clouds rolled in, we had no hard sun, so we used the Godox lights outside the windows, which emulate that hard sunlight coming in. We gelled them orange, which just gives us that nice evening feel.
And that's really the vibe that we wanted to go for, because it was so much different than the natural look that we had before. So, using the Godox lights in such different, unique ways really allowed us so many different looks throughout the day.
It's really cool to see a musician come in and really put her talent on display. We get a chance to set up beautiful lighting for her, and really it's an opportunity to create some art together with an artist that's different and exciting.
So it's always nice to be able to have a team like we did today that really just took this thing to a different level. And I think that whenever you are putting together a project, it definitely helps to have really good, talented people like we had here today to really bring the vision to life. And using the Godox lights in so many different ways really helped us achieve the look that we were going for. They helped us light this massive space, give us multiple looks, and perform flawlessly.